walking into the airport on the weekends. You can't go to the CBSA office that's outside of the airport, so we have to walk right in. Hey, Rye, say hi.
Hi.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I am back with the import, and I figured today what I would do is just open some of the plants. I pulled one of each type that we got this shipment. So you're kind of going to get to see what it looks like straight out of the box. They're wrapped in their paper. So we'll just show you one. Some might look good, some might not look great, but that's just kind of how it goes when you're doing imports. Anna is going to join me today for this video, but I had to start now. She's in the front shop helping a customer, so she'll join us when she can. So the first one I am going to do, I'm just going to grab one. Oh, not a super exciting one, but the first one is a Philodendron gloriosum. And as they usually do, gloriosums usually come with a couple of yellowing leaves, but I'm not too worried about it. There's some nice green, and the petioles are still very firm, so I'm not worried about these leaves. And look at this one, actually has a nice pink to it. You can kind of see on the back of the leaf a bit more. Nice. So that one is Philodendron gloriosum. The next one I have is one that is notoriously a bad shipper. So I am not going to freak out if it looks bad. I know 9 times out of 10, I'm going to be cutting all the leaves off anyways, and then they regrow. And it is quite a fast grower once it's kind of rooted and established. Sorry, I'm just trying to get into it here to show you. Oh, this one looks pretty good actually. So this one is a variegated banana. How pretty. So even though it looks pretty good right now, you can see the bottom does have some dying leaves. I will, if I was a betting woman, I would say this is going to end up with no leaves, which is fine as long as this is still good and there's roots, there's no mush, we're going to be good, because I have got these in before and intentionally chopped leaves off, or pulled the leaves off if you don't want to chop it, and they root and they grow quite fast actually. But look at that. And I personally prefer when there's not as much white on these. The really white ones can be pretty hard to keep pristine. So that, to me, that variegation is perfect. Look at her. So pretty. So once again, this one is a variegated banana plant. Okay, the next one I have is an anthurium. This one is definitely one of my favorite anthuriums. But for some reason I never remember to keep one. This time I'm going to keep one, I think, for myself. It is a Anthurium Doriaki Silver. How pretty is it? The leaves are just so beautiful. The round and this such thick silver veining. It's just gorgeous. And it's shipped quite well, actually. So I do find majority of the time I find anthuriums to ship better than philodendrons or any other plants. I find their roots are usually in better condition. Their leaves are better in better condition. Not to say that they're always going to be better, but a lot of the time they ship in much better condition than philodendrons. So once again, this guy here is a Anthurium Doriaki Silver. The next one I have is also another Anthurium. I can't even remember what I bought it as, but I am going to be selling it as a no ID because they don't really know what it is, and what they said it was definitely not what it is. So I'll sell it as a no ID, and it'll just be one of those ones that you look, and if you like it, you buy it. So it is this cutie. I'm pretty sure he said it was like a Dressleri hybrid, but it's definitely not. So this is our little no ID Anthurium. And again, it has shipped very nicely. It's very cute with its kind of got that bleeding vein that I like in it. Can you see that? It's so pretty. Yeah, I like it. Even the new leaf has survived shipping. See if it survives acclimation, but there's a new little leaf in there too. You see that there. We'll see if it survives acclimation. A lot of times I do find that if there's a shipment that has a bunch of plants with new leaves, usually if they're this small, they might have a chance. If they've come out but they haven't quite hardened off, majority of the time they don't make it, which is fine. It'll grow another leaf eventually, but yeah. So that guy there is our Anthurium no ID. Cutie pie. So the next one is actually one that I showed in my very first video that I recently got one for myself after the price had dropped significantly. Last year the prices of these were just crazy, and I was not bringing one in for myself. I was not bringing one in to sell at that price, but the prices come down, and so I brought some in, and they're so pretty. So the next one is a Philodendron Red Anderson. Oh, they're gorgeous. If you haven't seen one in person, you really need to. They are just so pretty. Like, you get all the good stuff. You get the pink princess look with like a white princess. It's like all the goodness in one plant. Sorry, I'm horrible at showing you guys these. But oh, how beautiful. So pretty. And this one actually shipped really well. So I'll be interested to see what the roots look like. I do find that these do root quite easily, so I'm not super worried if the roots are rotted. And I'm showing you these plants now. I am also going to kind of show you a little bit of what I do when I open them up and what I'll look for in the roots, and kind of what we do as far as what to do with them after you open them up. So it's not just show and tell today. I'm going to show you some other things. So once again, This one is Philodendron Red Anderson. All right, and the next one is also one that I have only ever had in one other time. I did sell a few of them. They seem to be a hit, so I brought a few more in, and it is a, oh goodness, Epipremnum amplissimum variegated. So, oh, do you see this? We got one yellow leaf, which is fine. Oh, look at these leaves. How pretty they are. I'm going to look at it and see what's the... Oh, they're all gorgeous. Oh my goodness, it's so gorgeous. Look at this. Oh, look at that one leaf at the front there. So pretty. You know what? See this yellow leaf? Hi. Once again, this one here is a Epipremnum amplissimum variegated. And hopefully I'm saying that right. If I'm not, what's next here? Ah, this one. This one is a good classic. Again, were harder to find last year. Prices kind of were crazy. Prices came down, and I have been loving this one, both for my personal plant and selling them. People have been loving them. I brought more in. Similar to the Gloriosum, they like to yellow when they ship, but this one is a Philodendron Dean McDowell. Look at that beauty. So we've got, oh yeah, see some yellowing on that leaf as well. So one thing about these, I do find that they need a little bit more time to grow because I do lose quite a few leaves. So I give them a bit of time to kind of regrow, root, obviously. But we've got one good leaf, almost two, except for that little, these two leaves for sure will go. But look how beautiful that is. Shipped decently, I think. So this one is a Philodendron Dean McDowell. All right, so the next one is actually, I'm supposed to have two sizes of it. So just open one first, and then we'll see the next one, see if there's any size difference. It is Philodendron Soderoy. So there's that guy. And then I'll open the next one and see if it's any bigger. They weren't labeled what size they are, so I wasn't sure if they are the same size or... Okay, the leaf isn't very much bigger, but the plant is bigger, so... The leaf size is about the same. There's just more plant. So that one there. And again, these seem to ship pretty well. Yeah, we'll see what the roots look like, but these look pretty good. So once again, that one is your Philodendron Soderoy. The next one is also a classic that got pricey for a while and is back down to what I think is a reasonable price. You know, when things kind of went crazy priced, I would say in 2020 and 2021, there were a lot of things that I carried like kind of before the craze of COVID that I just felt wrong buying them and selling them for the prices that they were going for. You know, I had requests for them and people willing to pay the price, and on occasion I did do it, but for the most part it was like, I don't know, just something in me that was like, no, don't pay that price. Ooh, there's a pretty one. And this was one of them. This was one of them that I sold quite a few of before. Are you ready? She's so pretty. It's a philodendron Florida Beauty. Look at the variegation on this. It's so gorgeous. Look at that. Oh my goodness. She's so pretty. And again, I pulled one of each of these plants, so I did get a few of all of these ones in. Some of them I'll keep to propagate, and others I will sell when they're ready. But oh, look at this leaf. So pretty. So once again, this one is a philodendron Florida Beauty. So the next one is another one that I got mainly to stock up my mother supply of these, as I do propagate these a lot. And it's a classic, a goodie, love them. Philodendron Majestic. Look at these guys, so pretty. And again, you know, this one lower leaf, it's a little bit yellow, so it'll probably get chopped, but oh, and maybe a little bit on this one. But the top ones look good. So once again, this one is a Philodendron Majestic. The next two I have here are both ones that I have had before, but only recently, I would say at the last half of last year, did I bring them in. This is not what it said it was. This is not what it said it was. So I'm going to find you another one of those, but I forgot I got these. Again, this one was one that I'm just getting to stock up my supply, but it is a Philodendron Splendid. I'll have to find another one of these in the box to show you guys. 1 minute. Okay, I'm back, and Anna's here. I told them that you were in the shop.
Oh, yes.
So I'm going to finish with the one that I was going to show you. I found one that was actually what it was labeled. So the next one is a Philodendron Violin Variegated.
Oh, it's so pretty.
Yeah.
I love the ears on it. When it will get ears.
Yeah, it's not quite mature. It does change in shape a little bit. But this one's got excellent variegation. So yeah, that one once again, Philodendron Violin Variegated. Okay, do you want to grab one?
Okay.
Okay, you grab one and open it, and then you can show it off.
Okay. Oh.
It's this is the second one of the one I said that I've only brought in a couple times, but in the more recent
it's so pretty when
6 months or so, yeah.
Yeah. It's like Christmas.
That one's nice too. That looks like an older leaf there.
There we go.
Yep. Okay, show it off.
There we go. This one is, oh.
You could say it.
This one is a Domesticum Variegated, Philodendron Domesticum Variegated.
Yeah.
That's that. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, this way is good.
Yeah.
Nice. Which one's the newest leaf? This guy here is the newest leaf. So it does kind of harden off into the variegated parts.
Creamy.
Become more prominent once it hardens off. But that one is beautiful. Philodendron Domesticum Variegated. Oh, it's my turn, and yes. I'm going to do this one. This was actually one that I forgot I even got it, and it's very cool. I've never had these before.
Whoa.
And it's so cool. Okay, let me get it open here and show you guys. So this one is a... Ooh. So cool.
I want one.
It is a You want everything,
Yeah,
Anna.
I know.
It is a Midrium variegated. I'm gonna try and these top leaves are kind of wrinkly, but isn't it cool? It kind of gives me a little bit of like the mojito
That's it. Yeah.
vibes, like when it's super mottled, Syngonium mojito, but
Like that.
like almost that questionable
Yeah. Why is it ruffly?
variegation, but so cool. And this is like the stems are so variegated, like that's gonna stay variegated. Wow. I think there's actually 2 plants in here. So once again, this one here is a Midrium variegated.
2 plants. One for you, one for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Alrighty.
You get to do one more.
Ready?
Okay, Anna is opening the last one for you guys. I already know what it is by the size of it.
And by process of elimination.
And by process of elimination, that is true.
Tissue.
So the next one is a Monstera
So crazy.
Aria.
Here we go. It's the newest.
There's
There you go.
beautiful. And this guy. And again, I said this about the banana, and kind of same thing with these guys. I find if they're too overly variegated, just smacked me in the face. If they're too overly variegated, I find the yellow parts really just kind of burn off. So I like it when they're not super, super variegated. And these have nice variegation. And the newest leaf there looks to be pretty good still.
I know, I hope it survives.
Hopefully it stays well.
Fingers crossed.
Okay, well, that's all the plants that we got in. I think I'm going to take a little bit of a break. I might finish doing it's the end of the day here, so we might be opening these tomorrow, but I said that I would show you a little bit of what we do with the roots and kind of getting them prepared to start getting acclimated. What we'll probably do a little bit of tonight is soaking them in water, and then tomorrow they'll be ready to pot up. So we'll come back tomorrow and show you that. Okay, see you tomorrow. Hi guys, I'm back day 2. We are going to open a few plants here and check their roots, and I'm just going to kind of show you what they usually look like when they come in, and also show you what I will do before potting them. So I have opened this guy here, and so I just kind of assess the roots. If there's any dead bits, this one's actually not too bad. What I kind of like to do is just literally take my finger down, and if anything falls off like that, it's usually not good. There's little bits that fell off. So that guy is actually pretty good. I don't see any rotted roots. There were a few little bits that was broken, so it broke off. But yeah, overall that's good. Not a huge root system, but there's roots out of almost every node, so that one's good. And we have a Domesticum variegated. And same thing. Ooh, look at those new roots. You see that? New root there. And a new root right there. So this one does have some root rot. So usually what I'll do, see how that kind of just falls off? So I like that I see some new roots, so that's positive. So what I'll do is I'll just kind of go in there and cut off any bits that are rotted. And again, if you kind of just lightly go like this and it just falls off, it's not a good root. So I like to try and keep as much of the main root as I can, but some of these. And the other thing is if it's broken, like here, this one, unfortunately, this whole root, if you can see right there, is broken. So unfortunately, and it's not a very good root anyways, you can see it's kind of darker there. I'm just going to cut that whole thing off. I always do this before I pot things up just because they're going to die anyways. So I'd rather not have them in the pot when I'm acclimating them. So again, the end of that one is kind of looking pretty gnarly. So I'm just going to cut the whole thing off. And same thing there. See how it's, let's see if I can show you. So at the beginning up here, it's quite nice. And then towards the end down here, it's brown. So I'm just going to cut it kind of to where it's good. Get rid of that. And same thing with this one and this one. So this is what we end up with. Doesn't look like much, but these new roots are going to just take off and the plant's going to be fine. So that's that one. And then I have the red Anderson here. So same thing, philodendron roots. This is usually how they come. I usually end up having to chop quite a few of them. And oh yeah, see, this one has almost no roots, unfortunately. But I am seeing a nice new root tip on. Yeah, these roots are not great at all. See how that's just kind of like falling off like a little string? So that's not good. But if you can see, there's a little bit of moss on it. I'm going to try and get it off. There's on this one right here, there's like a little pink tip, which means that it is an actively growing root. So that's great. But these roots are not good. Not good at all. So I'm just going to literally chop almost all of them off. Another good way to tell if your roots are kind of, you can kind of squeeze them a little bit, and if they're squishy, they're not good. So that one, we're going to go to there, and there, and there. There's a lot of moss stuck on these roots, so it's kind of hard for me to tell if they're dead or alive. But for now, what I'll do is I'm going to probably pop these into some water. So what I'll do for now is I will just put it into some water, and if when I pull it out of the water, these kind of are squishy, then I'll know that I need to chop them off. But for now, I'm going to leave them and see how they do. So that is what we're left with. Again, not very many roots, but because I know that there is kind of an actively growing root right there, I think we'll be okay. Please be okay. You're so pretty. And who else can we open? Let's do an anthurium. So this was the Dorayaki Silver. And anthurium roots usually show up in pretty great condition. They're not one. Yeah, look at these. Woo, they're good. So you can see, yeah, I see lots of new growth tips. There's even, you can see right there with the little yellow, and even these roots here look good. So now I do find, chances are all these roots down here most likely are probably going to die off in acclimation. But I'm not going to cut them right now because they are healthy and there is a chance that they will continue to grow in acclimation. But just from my experience, for the most part, I do find that the older roots kind of shed in acclimation and you end up with just, your roots up here at the top that are kind of the new healthy ones. But for now, we're going to leave them and we'll see how it goes. I always pot my plants into clear pots so that I can see the root growth and development. And yeah, so we'll see how this guy does. And who else? We should do a banana. Let's see how this banana looks today. So I ordered 4 bananas. So I think this is a different one that I showed yesterday. But it's floppy, typical. But let's have a look and see if we have any viable roots. Yeah, no, not so great. So I'm gonna get rid of these leaves right away because they're just done. And yeah, these roots are not great. So you can see it's broken right at the top, at the bulb there. So we're gonna cut that one. That one's broken. Oh goodness, they're all broken. That one's broken. That one's broken. Okay, so that's what I'm left with. Hardly anything. I do find that they root quite well and fast, so hopefully we get some new roots popping out because that guy needs some roots. There's that one. And like I said yesterday, I can almost guarantee this is going to have no leaves in probably less than a week. But we'll see. Okay, and then we have a violin variegated. Again, philodendron, so I'm expecting to see some rotted roots, some shredded roots. Oh, here's a good example of something too. Oh, not bad. We have some active growth and some rot. So, okay, so here's a good example. So this plant, this piece right here, right there, this has been grown from essentially a chunk or a node of another plant. So I don't really need that anymore for this plant because all the roots are now coming from the new plant, which is here. You can kind of see the yellow part is the old, and then this is all coming from the new plant. So I am just going to cut it off from its little prop chunk. See, there was not even one root on this. However, when you look, this actually has 2 nodes. So this one is now considered a spent node because this plant grew from it, but there is another node right there at the top. You can see this little bump right here. So I'm going to keep this. I'm going to cut it. So this is the spent one. That one's garbage, but I'm going to keep this guy and throw him in my prop bin. So yeah, so I'll put that in the prop bin, and I might grow another plant from it. So I'm just assessing these roots and kind of see that just fell off. I'm just chopping anything that is bad, and this one actually has decent roots. So we end up with that. There. Okay guys, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed coming along with me to pick the plants up and a little bit of unboxing and sharing a bit of what the roots kind of look like when they come in. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.